Another caravan of ships carrying Ukrainian food will pass through the humanitarian corridor in the Black Sea today. This was reported by the Ukrainian government.
8 vessels with agricultural products are expected to pass through the grain corridor. We got information from the UN. Alexander Kubrakov, Minister of Infrastructure of Ukraine, on Twitter.
The day before, Ankara announced that the grain initiative would continue its work. Turkish dry cargo ships will continue to carry Ukrainian grain, Turkish President Erdogan said after a telephone conversation with Putin.
After a telephone conversation that we had with Russian President Vladimir Putin, Russian Defense Minister Mr. Shoigu called our Minister of National Defense and said that grain shipments would continue as previously agreed.
And this is against the backdrop of Putin's loud statements that after the explosions in Sevastopol, Russia suspends its participation in the grain agreement and demands written security guarantees from Kyiv. Moreover, Moscow itself has been blocking Ukrainian ports since February and striking at the critical infrastructure of Ukraine. In 2 days since Russia suspended its participation in the grain initiative, 17 ships passed through the corridor in both directions. On Tuesday, 3 more ships left the ports of Chernomorsk and Pivdenny, carrying 85,000 tons of agricultural products for Libya and Morocco. 2 tankers, which will carry oil to Jordan and Romania, have arrived for loading, the Ministry of Infrastructure of Ukraine said. Despite the fact that the grain corridor worked, both insurers who raised prices for services and world markets reacted to Russia's withdrawal from the deal.
If we are talking about the price inside Ukraine, then it is declining, because there is a new crop and there is nowhere to put it. If we are talking about the world prices, then prices of course are growing. If you look at how the markets react to Russia's statement about the withdrawal, then futures in both Chicago and Paris rose by a few percent. Definitely these throw-ins from Russia are hitting up prices very much.
To ensure the uninterrupted export of Ukrainian wheat and prevent a global food crisis, it is necessary to develop a mechanism for punishing Russia in case of violation of the agreements, President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky believes.
We need reliable and long-term protection of the grain corridor. Russia must clearly know that it will receive a harsh response from the whole world for any steps that disrupt our food exports. It is literally a matter of the lives of tens of millions of people.
In addition to the sanctions pressure, which of course the West exerts on the aggressor country, it is necessary to strive for the total isolation of Russia, political analysts say.
The President of Ukraine, Zelensky, called for the exclusion of Russia from G20. I think it is fair in general for the isolation of Russia, not to pretend that it is normal and acceptable. It is necessary to exclude Russia from all institutions, to break off all relations with it, because it is a threat for the whole world.
Meanwhile, over the 3 months of the grain corridor operation, 422 ships exported almost 10 million tons of agricultural products from Ukrainian ports. The Ukrainian government calculated that this figure could have been a third more if the Russian side had not slowed down the process. Reported by Serhiy Kulas, Faina Vasilenko, UATV News.